Start recording now. And yeah. So I was gonna knock out my general thing that I was kind of talking about before, so everyone can hear in the video, was just saying our goal should be consistency. Our goal is to find any small movements of, tightening up corners, returns, any small movement, even like in the overworld or in dungeons that I can clean up, it can turn into a half a second save. So I really hope that when the mentor goes through the room, he kind of describes about cutting those corners and showing it to you. And so that way, when any of the mentees watch it, you're going to save that time. And I can show you a few examples of how I kind of use like diagonals is like a big thing. So the one thing I wanted to talk about was the stealth room. So this is a good example that we're going to need to go diagonal, right? So our goal is to go up to here, and then we're going to stealth to avoid this guard. But this movement here is what I really wanted to show you, is that I hold up left this entire time. By doing that, I'm kind of riding this wall, so it looks like I'm just pressing left, but I'm really holding up left. And if I continue holding up left all the way up to here, that's where I want to be stealth. So it's better than going like this. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but this can save you like a quarter of a second to just be holding down left. You're pretty much maximizing the first frame you can to diagonal. You'll be diagonaling. That's something I'm going to point out as much as I can when it comes to walking, because there's going to be some movement there to save you time. So now, obviously, let's go back to this room. This is, I think, the first room I have on here. You can play around with maximizing, staying as low as possible here, and you can get as low as about there. Maybe even lower, actually. I see a lot of people go way too high. Yeah, see, he still doesn't see me. Like, I'm not even as high as the block. See? I'm still, like, almost below it. So I see people go, like, all the way up here, and then they come back down, and you could save yourself, like, a quarter or a half a second. So you can kind of experiment how low you can be to do that. Now, obviously, like, over-exaggerate, right? Go too low on purpose. See, he sees me. Okay, so that means we have to go a little bit higher and experiment with this. That's about right. I bet you I could have gone away with like 1 pixel lower than that, but that's a good example of how you can do this stealth room.
It seems that being on the big stone on the floor is low enough. Maybe half of the big stone.
The big stone that's by the bottom of my foot?
Yeah, like if you watch my screen, I'm on this big stone. This one. So if you are like here.
Oh yeah, that's about right. Yeah. I think that you have it. I think you're correct.
What I use is up left until you can't see Link underneath the top layer.
Yeah, you think that right when he's invisible.
After.
Oh,
that's actually really good,
almost.
EDI. I think you're actually onto something there. Right when he disappears, I hold left. Yeah, I think you're good with that. That's actually a very good visual cue. Good job. And so I'll show you that this is another point where I do that diagonal. I'm just going to hold up left this whole time. And if you want to get fancy, you can pump against this wall. We can go over pumping if you want. Or you can just diagonal this whole way. Here, let's get these cards out. Like, diagonal all the way to that, and then just go through the door. That's another great example of when you diagonal. And believe it or not, we're going to do the same thing when we leave. After we save Zelda, we're going to hold down right out of this until we get to this point. Hold down right this whole time. Like, riding these walls with diagonals is very strong. Obviously, you don't want to go down there because you're going to take those stairs. So, obviously, you would cancel right about the around this.
Is there a difference? Like, if I'm going... Like, I can go this way in diagonal, but I can also go this way in diagonal. Is there a difference?
The answer is you'll probably just lose like that.
Facing.
When you face up, you might lose like 1 pixel. Because you know how you like, it takes you when Link walks, he walks 2 pixels, then 1 pixel, then 2 pixels, then 1 pixel. So when you do that diagonal to face up, you might be losing some time. So that's kind of why I think if you go from a left to an up left, you should always be facing left. I don't think that's going to hurt you too much. So is there a reason why you're pointing up when you leave this room? Or why you
Because sometimes I have it, but when you escape with Zelda, I always kind of grind the wall like this.
That's an example. So what happens is the reason why. So yes, after you save Zelda and you take these stairs, you want to hold upright so that way you're facing up the whole time. This is like the only time that this becomes a thing. But essentially, what you're doing is if you face right first, you're doing a 1 frame input. So I told you that Link walks 2 frames, then 2 pixels, 1 pixel, 2 pixels, whether it's left or up. If it's right or down, he does 1 pixel, right or down. So you're getting that first frame, 1 pixel instead of 2, and so that's why people want you to upright. It's a very small thing, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. But that's at least what I think you're alluding to. It's because you're leaving these stairs and you have to go upright. Which is interesting is that it doesn't happen too often in this game. There's a lot of left in this game. And then eventually when you get boots, you don't have to worry about that. Yeah. I do think that's like a very precise thing that I wouldn't worry too much about at 137 level, but it's something to think about. Do you guys understand the concept of pumping? Do you want me to go over that, or do you think that's something you're not concerned about?
I never understood the concept of pumping, except that it destroys controllers.
It does harm controllers. There's no question about that. I probably replace my rubbers every 2 years, 1.5 years.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's part of it. I can at least explain what it is. BDI, have you heard of pumping, or have you done it?
Yes.
Or do you do it in your run? Okay. So essentially, when you get a long path of a left or an up, this is a very good wall right here to pump. And so, if I hold left right now, Link is going to walk 2, then 1, then 2, then 1, then 2, then 1, then 2, then 1. What I can do instead is if I press left and I press up on where I'm supposed to walk that 1 frame or that 1 pixel, it resets Link's standing animation so that way he does 2 again. So my goal is to press left for 2, press up for 1, then left for 2, then up for 1. And I'm going to spam this up until I get to the end. So I can see if I save 10 or 20 frames, and I can make a save state here, and you can at least see it. But I can tell you that you will feel it when you do this. So that's me pumping. 907. 807. That's not right. Maybe because of the select. That's annoying. 808. There's no way I only saved 1 frame. That's crazy. 806. Like, as you can see, you know what's annoying is that my load takes me off the controller.
Is this like this?
I might have to see it on your screen. So so you're doing it. So you believe it or not, you don't want to do it to the right. That looks correct what you're doing though. But yes, you're just kind of mashing up, and you're trying to do it every other frame. That's the goal. And even if you pressed up on all the wrong frames, it would be the same as if you held left. So there's no diminishing against the wall or nothing, no negative effect as long as you're holding left the whole time. Yeah, that's the idea. So if you're not concerned about controllers, I say go for it against the wall. I think it's worth it. And you can do it against this wall here too. You can kind of sneak a few ups here. But if this messes up any of your movement to trying to dodge this guard, or you kind of like get stuck on the corner, like a very common thing that people do is they they just like get stuck here, right? So you all of a sudden are pressing right here, and then now you've just lost all your time. So really try to find like free long walls like the one I pointed out to you, like that railing. and you don't have to go too hard on it. But I figured I'd at least explain it to you.
Okay.
Let's talk about these spiral staircases. Is there a good one? Let me do the one by ball and chain. So, when you walk out of a spiral staircase, when I hold down, Link kind of has like a little bit of a hiccup when he walks down. So just hold down and you'll see that he kind of has a stutter step. To avoid that stutter step, you actually want to hold left out of the door into a down right, and you will not have that stutter. Yep, that was it. You just nailed it. So whichever way you're heading, that is going to save you a couple of frames. Now, at the end of the day, is a couple of frames a lot? No. But how many of these doorways are there? I don't know, 30? And if it's free, if that's the path you have to take and it's not that much of an effort, then I highly recommend going for that. So whenever you see a spiral stair, try to hold left or right out of it. And I will do my best to point them out if you didn't notice them. But there's a whole bunch of these. So those are really the major movement techs I kind of wanted to go over.
I usually do that.
You usually do that? Good. BDI, you knew about that one?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. No, I'm glad to hear it. Alright, so let's go with... Boom Guard was the first one I brought up. I guess so. It's second key guard on here, huh? Okay. How do you guys feel about the poke into the spin attack when you do it?
I do that.
Same.
You good with
I
that?
do that, but sometimes he parries me. I think I don't go higher enough.
So he has like 3 different aggros of when he charges at you. And so if there's ever a time that, yeah, you see that how he kind of waited, right, for your spin attack to end? It's RNG whether he's going to come at you super fast or wait. And so to save yourself, you should walk a little bit closer to him. Yeah.
Oh, because I poked him.
You also don't want to, you want to slash inside the room. By the way,
Okay.
it's a little bit faster. You just want to take like 1 step down and then go up to there. It's like a here. So I kind of just take 1 step down. See, he got me this time because I didn't do it.
That's more of my question, like when do you charge your spin attack?
I think I just kind of hold diagonal out of it. I just hold diagonal and take like 1 or 2 steps down.
No, but like you said, like, okay, charge your spin attack inside the room.
Yeah, so I probably slash about here, where I'm standing.
Yeah.
I take 1 step down, and then I line myself up with those 2 statues next to the chest, and then I just run into him with the sword poke. And by that time I get to him, the spin attack comes out.
Like this.
So the last little secret nugget I want to tell you that is if you don't go too far onto the blue guard, you can actually hold up left out of the spin attack, and you will face upwards and press up against the statue and face the chest. So right here, I hold up left, and you see I'm facing up, and that will allow me to face the chest a little bit sooner. It's a good little speed tech to try out.
Is there any cue as well to the boomerang, like the first frame you can do it?
I am not too try-hardy on this. You can try, the try-hard thing to do is to cancel with L and R, and then try to get that boom where Link is like facing the same direction, right? It's a, where is it? There's like a, yeah, that kind of frame. You see how he's like doesn't turn direction? What I usually do in this is I mash L and R, hold right, and I try to press Y at the right time of him stepping forward, and then I back away.
So just as soon as you see him start moving, you can boomerang.
Yeah. I think it's more of a timing thing. I'm not looking for it. Like, I actually did not do that. I wanted to make a save state. Actually, there's one thing I need to change. Hold on. I set up this shortcut to remove. Okay, good. How does it cancel? Okay. It was bothering me. Alright, so let me make a save state here. So I grab the boomerang. Yeah, I take like 1 or 2 steps. I'm trying to time that when I know when the text box cancels by pressing L and R, and I'm holding right. And so I'm trying to time a Y button when I know he's going to be facing right. It's not a very good answer, I apologize. That's my goal. Oh, hey Sawyer, how's it going?
Hello.
Hello. You okay with me recording your voice? I'm doing a little recording now.
That's fine.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we're doing over boomerang guard, so it's a second key guard right now.
Yep, I've been here for a little bit.
Oh, you have? Okay. I just noticed. All good. Yeah. You know what? I'm trying to watch all 3 at the same time. How's it going?
As I just missed.
It's going all right.
Okay. Oh, you got it. See, BDI nailed the boomerang without turning.
806.
Yeah, very nice. Good job.
Probably the fastest I've done it.
The up left, holding up left out of the spin attack is going to save you like a good 2 to 3 frames. It's actually kind of nasty. It's a really good tech to do that like right out of the spin attack. Try charging the sword a little faster, comp.
Come on. Nope.
There you go. Nice. That was a good one. I think that's perfect, BDI. I think you and Sawyer got it. I like the last couple that I saw. And it's actually not the most important thing to grab the boomerang as fast as possible. If you feel like you're grabbing the statue to the right, you can grab the chest in the center or even to the left. It doesn't save any time to grab the chest early or late because you still have to stop and throw the boomerang backwards. So.
Well, that was faster.
Yeah, you
40.
are getting faster at it. Nice.
Keep making save states while mashing the text.
Oh, yeah, that can happen depending on what you have your save state to. Mine is select and L is usually my states, whether it's L or start. And that I find. But yeah, you do have to be careful with what you make your save state.
I just have it on Y and L and R.
Yeah. I think you just need to release the sword a little bit quicker, comp. There you go. So there is this weird timing where if you sword poke an enemy and then you don't let go of B quick enough, he won't do the spin attack. That's kind of what you want to do against blind, for example. You want to do all 9 sword pokes. Yeah, it's a little annoying that you have to like really kind of do a light nudge against that top statue. And you don't want to be too much lower because you're gonna clink off the sword. There you go. That's it. I think you have the idea. Oh, you even got the swag boom there. Nice. All right. Let's talk about ball and chain. I think we covered that room. What are people thinking? One pot? Or anyone out 8-slashing out here?
I do the 8/,
Mm-hmm.
but sometimes he blocks me, and I find it annoying.
All right. I can go over.
And then I died.
And then you die. Well, it's honestly a decent reset point. It's only a couple minutes into the run, right? It's like 2:15 or something.
Like,
but so I would encourage you guys to do one pot because it's only a half a second time save if you do it perfectly. But I am more than happy to help anyone that wants to do something sweaty like an 8/. I think 8/ is a lot of fun. So I probably did it a little bit too early, around, I don't know, 129, 128 is when I started 8/ing. And I can see people not learning 8/ until 127, 126.
well, I'm already doing it.
Yeah, you're already doing it? Okay. BDI, what do you do? Did you say you 8/?
I can 8/ sometimes, and it's very inconsistent, and I will usually get a hitch.
Okay.
And
all right, so we can
that
go
probably
over
makes it slower than one pot anyway.
Right. Sawyer, I believe you 8/, right?
8/ due to the goals that I have for this tournament.
Okay.
In Rando.
Okay, so let's just stick with 8/ and we'll talk about it. There are two, I think there's more than two, but in my mind when I do it, there are two RNGs for ball and chain. He's going to stop and he's going to throw real quickly, so you have to wait for him to throw, or he's going to kind of walk towards you and you'll be able to get your early slash in before he goes after you. Those are the two RNGs I see when I fight him. So let me just take this guy out, and I'll make a safe state here. And I stop right about here, right at the start of Zelda's cell, is when I start holding down right to go underneath him. And all I'm doing right now is watching ball and chain. If he stops early, he's going to throw, and I have to wait for him to throw the ball, and then slash afterwards, and then start lining him up against the cell. If he's late, then I will see that was actually all we for. And this timing of slashing is kind of something you have to teach yourself. So that actually I should have been early enough for the first one. Let's actually just show the first slash. So that time he let me get in. That time he let me get in. That time I had to wait. You see how I waited for that ball to go around first before I slashed him? Those are the two that I'm looking for when I get that first slash. So I recommend just breaking it down to that. Making sure you're getting that diagonal and seeing the difference for when he's letting you in, or you have to wait. That was a wait also. So I waited for one swing and then I walked into slash. So why don't you guys work on the first slash first and make sure we're getting the diagonal to start. And then the rest is really just timing the slashes.
We'll be right back. I have some dog aggro, and then I'll start working on this. But don't wait for me.
Okay, no good. All good. You, BDI, you could have been quicker, and you could have gotten that early slash. Yep. You had it. You almost had that slash there.
But when he waits, I should start.
If he
hitting
stops early, you need to let him swing first, and then you can get in. If he's still walking towards you, then you should be able to get a slash in before he throws an attack. Like that one, you might have been able to get an early one in. Here, I'll watch another one for you, Comp. That's a wait. Okay, good. That was actually perfect. You went in at the right time. You let him do one swing around and then gone. That one you might have been able to swing early before he did. Yeah, what were you gonna say?
No, when you say a swing, it's not him throwing the ball. It's like doing.
Yeah, one circle exactly, and then you can move up after one circle. Then you can go in and slash him. That time, I think you could have been a little bit tighter and cleaner and got him before that swing came out. I think that was a good one. Yeah, that's good. That was perfect, Comp. Very nice.
You can call me Gab.
Gab? I can call you Gab.
Yeah.
No problem. Gab it is.
It's better.
It's better? Okay. Gab it is.
Thanks.
BDI, you're looking solid right now. Oh,
I
sorry I
walk
said
into his
something. I
body.
know. I said something right when you did it. I saw 3 before that. That looked really good. So we're doing pretty good with even the 2nd to 8 hits, the remaining hits. I will tell you that if you get a clink on him, the best thing to do to react to that is actually hold the sword, because you will eventually sword poke him, and then you can do your slashes afterwards. So it takes a couple of clinks, but you hold up and you kind of like press against him, and eventually the sword poke will hit him, and then you'll get your rhythm back to do the remaining slashes. So it's a good backup to if you get a clink, so that way you're not just slashing and constantly clinking. So that's always a good thing. And then obviously the last thing you want to do is try to position yourself in a way that you can boomerang the big key and then stand as close to the door as you can. But you don't want to talk to the door, because the door will talk back to you and say, you need a big key. And then you've lost a second or two because you have a text box that you don't want. Yep, that's the one I'm talking about, Gab.
I didn't know you could boomerang the big key.
Oh yes, it's actually it's crazy enough to say it, but booming the big key is actually quicker than picking up the big key, even if it's right next to the door. So usually when I try to do this, I try to get the key to be as close. I kind of push him over here a little bit, so he's as close to this as possible, and then I'll do a diagonal like that. And that's my goal, is to try to do an upright and be as close to the door as possible. Either an
Because
upright...
I'm trying to stock it inside the door like I'm doing right now.
I think that's fine. I always been told, people say that it's a little bit easier to get the boomerang from here. And then sometimes you might miss the key if you put them right on the door. So that's why people put them on this right railing. But if it works for you, then I would say go for it. But I mean, we're talking about a few frames here or there.
Like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think you guys are getting it. I really do. And then obviously it's just feeling very comfortable with that timing.
I should have waited for that one.
I didn't see.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You'll have to do it again. No, that one you should be able to get. That one you're tight enough to get. Yep. You just didn't go low enough there. Nope, you got him. See, you're in that one.
I think the one that you missed, I should have waited, because I'm never getting the RNG where you have to wait.
It's honestly rare. It is. I'll say it's like 1 out of 5. Nope, that's a good one too.
And I died.
There may also be a part that we're like doing a save state in the room, so we're kind of like forcing 1 RNG as we do this, you know? Like if you hold right out of this, so it might be help to reset the room to try to get a different RNG.
But it's quicker to get the boomerang the key every time.
Yes. As long as you are the... Yes, it definitely is. There is something about the pickup that's a little bit easier. And obviously, when you boomerang it, you want to stand as close to the key door as possible. So that way when you're holding the key door, the key over your head,
Like this.
you're saving yourself time. Yeah, just like that. Perfect. Yeah, I think you guys got this.
I'm on.
Do you slash the guard? If he goes right,
generally
something like
do.
that.
I know some people like to boom him. The problem is, you know how his eyes can like block boomerangs? It's so annoying, and then you take a hit more than you should. So the math that everyone tells you is that a sword swing is 15 frames and a boomerang is like 12 to 13 frames. So in theory, a boomerang is going to save you a little bit of time. But if the guard uses his eyes to block the boomerang, you're clearly losing more than the 6 frames when you have to rethrow a boom or if you get hurt. So in my opinion, when he walks right, that's the 1 RNG when he gets in your way, I usually slash him twice and just get him out of here. I just kill him. I don't want to deal with it. I'll say as a general thing, if you're ever concerned whether you're not going to boom something and you're like, I'm kind of worried that it's going to hurt me, just slash them. It's fine. We can sweat about those frames another time. But
Yeah,
I'll
when
show
we
you
are
some
aiming
examples. Like even in the Eastern Overworld, there's some Octoroks that may or may not get boomeranged, and you probably should just slash them. What were you gonna say, Gab?
when we will be aiming for world record, like then we can.
Yeah. This weekend, exactly. I agree.
Next weekend. This weekend world record.
I like it.
Come on, die.
Yeah, sometimes. So when you go for the 8/, when this guard faces down, most of the time you're able to swing by him, and sometimes he like aggro's just as you're like he's gonna go off screen. But as long as you hold right, he should get off screen when he like does that walk of going down and then bouncing up. That's when he sees you. You usually can. The only one that I ever struggle with is where he faces left and then he sees you. That one I usually boom him, because after I boom him, then he usually goes down here and then he's out of my way most of the time. But it's when he's going. Yeah, when he goes right, I just slash him twice. I just get rid of him.
Just had the one where I heard him off screen get aggroed at me,
Oh yeah.
and then scrolled him off screen before that.
Good. Yeah, no, that definitely can happen on the down RNG. I had it happen the other night where he actually did chase after me, and I was like, did I mix? I must have made a mistake. Because usually I can get out of that room. All right, so let's go to the next room. I mean, it's 8:30 now, and I want to try to knock out everything on this list. Do you guys have any other following questions or final questions about Ball and Chain?
How close do you need to be from him?
Be surprised how close, like, in general.
I think you can get pretty close, but
Yeah.
then, like, when it swings...
I think that there's a part of it that when he's in iframes, I think the ball itself has less of a hitbox. Don't quote me on that, but I feel like when I try to stand next to him and I'm not swinging, I get hit more. So if I'm in there, yeah, like this,
Well,
that normally wouldn't hit me if I was swinging. So there is something about the mechanic of slashing him that ball is not hitting me. Like that ball should hit me, and it's not when I'm hitting him.
Maybe it changed your hitbox when you
It might be, yeah, maybe it's changing Link's hitbox. I have a feeling the ball doesn't have a hitbox when he's blinking. That's my guess. But essentially, my head is like right on his shadow. It's like right on top of him. I'm almost inside him here, right? Like this is where I usually am. Yeah. My face is in his feet right now, so I'm getting pretty close to him. Yeah, I think this is a very good pausing moment to say this is about how close I'm getting to him when I'm fighting him. BDI, do you have any finishing questions for this?
I think so.
Okay. Cool. All right, let's move on to Dark Cross. I'll just show you a little bit of just the fact that I'll just quickly go through this part where this is another screen where you can hold diagonal, like I was showing you in the beginning, where in this following screen, if you hold upright this whole time, you just have to watch out for this ret. This ret sometimes, okay, that ret right there sometimes gets in your way. So when I get to pretty much where we are, I'm holding my thumb over the Y button to pop him here if he blocks me. But that rat that put to my left sometimes lines up here. But the point I wanted to show you was that this is a screen where I'm holding upright the whole time, all the way up to lining up. This is another example where I don't want to, or I prefer people not go right, go like this, and then go like this, and then they start to make their way up. I want to see a clean, upright movement from here all the way to up to here.
That's usually what I do.
That's good. Good. I will say that when I was getting better at escape to trying to get 555s, I found most of my time saved in the back half. So if you wanted extra credit other than the additional 5 rooms, work on pushing the crest and then just going from here to the back. And try to avoid as many rats or learn more, RNGs of decisions of trying to get around them. Because most of my time from going to a 6-minute or 559 to like a 555, 554 was this back half. So I would encourage that. All right. So this room, you know that if you hold right out of this room, this bat over here gets detected. This guy was bad news. You don't want to do that. So you want to either pump to the wall, or you just kind of want to walk up and then to the wall, and then this bat will stay where he should be. That's like rule number 1 of that. So this guy, you're always going to boom no matter what. I will say this kindly, the other 2 snakes can be really annoying. Sometimes they're next to each other here. Otherwise, sometimes they get in the way, like that, and you need to just boom them. The best thing you can do is just boom anything that's in your way, because you want to be... See, look at that. They both got in my way. This was a terrible snake pattern. You want to be up against this wall as much as possible, because if you try to move up at all, you're going to aggro the bat, and he's going to come right at you. So you really want to take this tight, and anything that gets in your way, you want to boom. And then you want to grab this chest. It's up to you if you want to aggro the bat before or after. I like to do it before, like that. See how I kind of held upright there? Here, I'll do it again. It was probably not that very obvious. Right here, I hold upright, and this aggroes him. And then I get the chest, and now I have a clean path. Corey was showing you another way of doing it, where you actually aggro him afterwards. Oh my god, I messed up. The snake scared me. Snakes are very scary in this room. So he kind of just holds left. And you see how the bat has like an arc where he went up? So he kind of follows it past that. Figure out which one works best for you. I don't think there's a wrong answer. I just like to go to the chest a little bit earlier. I don't know. That helps me kind of try to cleanly hit the left side of this chest.
I follow the upper wall. I am... like, come on. Like, that's the way I'm doing this room. This one, then I'm doing this.
Uh-huh.
And then I'm doing this.
Oh, so you get above the bat.
Yeah, exactly.
Listen, if the bat doesn't bother you, that's fine. I don't think I've ever seen people do that. Let me try that. So you just get this and then you hold up left this whole time. Yeah, the bat doesn't bother you. I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all.
But you need, like, what I saw is that you need to kind of move a little bit forward into the room before, like, grinding the left wall, like when you... Because, like, if you touch the wall too soon, the bat will move.
You touch the wall too soon. Okay, so you
like,
kind of move up a little bit to get to the
if
wall
I say
first.
this like this, you know, like to see that the bat.
Oh
is
yeah. That
right
aggroes
here.
the bat. Yeah.
Yeah, it aggroes the bat if I move up left too soon. But if I kind of just get a little bit in the room and then I go up left, like it's alright. So I don't know. It's kind of very weird.
Yeah.
But then the game's weird. So.
No, I'm okay with that, honestly. If you wanted to do that out of the chest and you held up left. My only concern when doing this is if a snake like this gets in my way. I may not be able to see him. That would be my biggest concern. And then if you stop and have to boom this snake, now maybe the bat has a chance of hitting you. So,
yeah,
probably a freak accident, but it could happen. If I hold up left... Yeah, see that right there, I have to stop because the bat is going to come out.
Oh.
Yeah, that's my
because
concern.
Because of the snake.
Exactly. If I have to deal with a snake here, right around here, this bat is going to meet me at the wall if I have to pause. So here, I'll throw the boomerang where I'm describing. Oh my god, why do I keep getting such bad snake? If I have to throw a boom here, there's a chance that bat might hit me. Yeah, I would say test it out. Maybe do it like 10 times. and maybe see what happens if a snake gets in your way. And if you get hurt, try the other way.
I'm always doing that in my run, and I rarely get any
You
problems.
rarely get it? Okay.
Yeah.
Then stick with it then. No, I don't think movement-wise you're losing any time from doing that. From grabbing the chest and holding up left. I think that's completely fine. And then obviously this is a wall you could pump if you wanted to. This is an up right here. So.
Well, it's no longer Dark Cross.
Oh. Did you light something, or did you accidentally put it
Yeah, I lit the...
Oh, you lit the torches.
No magic!
Sawyer
I'm gonna die.
BDI, do you have any questions or thoughts about this room?
No.
I think it's
Seems
worth
pretty-
going over just to make sure everyone has this path, because it's very easy to just get hit by a snake or a bat. So that's why I kind of wanted to add this to the list. I think this is probably one of the harder rooms in the bat. So. All right, then let's go to the rat key and talk about the
I
rat
was
key.
going to say before that,
Oh,
in
yeah,
the sewer second room,
Yeah.
how do you not get hit by the batch to the right of the door?
You should be pumping entirely through both of these rooms. So that the second sewer one?
Yeah, the one where the rat's to the right of the door. Although not the rat, the...
Yeah, so this one here. Okay, so let me make a save state. All I do is I'm mashing up. So you kind of are about here when you aggro the bat. And so the bat will do he'll do his like upper arc, and then I'll get him behind him. And by the time I pump, I'm here. So I'm pumping, and then I
think
meet him here.
mashed up too fast there, and I
Maybe.
went up into...
You might be pressing up a little too long. You only want to press up for one frame. That's at least the goal. Is that it should just always be one frame each. So yeah, I'm trying to meet that corner. So you're probably getting a little too much height.
Like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes it easier. Not
Good.
mashing better.
Pumping is very tricky, and it's really worth only doing against a wall or in water. There are times that it definitely is optimal to do in the air, like when you're like going to the hidden path right after Link's house. But it's very, very difficult, and I highly recommend you practice it. Otherwise, I don't recommend doing any air pumping. I don't do any air pumping, so I recommend not bothering with that right now. All right. You good with that, BDI?
Mhm.
Okay, cool. All right, so key rats. I hate key rats so much. I have a very
Me
bad.
too.
I have a very bad habit that if I see him go into the upper left corner, I just reset the game, and I just go, and I don't even bother learning it. It's probably bad advice to my mentees, but I will let you know I don't care for that, and I'm just like I'm not going to lose those 2 seconds, so I don't bother. But here's what I do. When I go into this room, I face left and I pump to a couple of frames up to be low. And I'm hoping for the God RNG where this key rat's going to come right at me. Corey actually has different advice to this. He actually goes much higher, and he's just ready to try to make his way to the top corner. And once he sees the rat at the bottom, he'll actually chase it down. So, yeah. So I would say I like to go up to here and then try to boom it like that. I try to go a little bit higher than the rat, or where the key is going to drop. See how the key is like a little bit lower because it's going to have this arc to it. And that's how I catch it. So I do think that there is an advantage to getting those couple of pumps up, because you'll see that rat coming down a little bit quicker because of the lamp cone. And you'll have a better chance of it. I think you guys know about this, but if the boomerang has a choice between the 5 rupees and the key, it will always choose the 5 rupees. And it sucks. But it does. So you have to be prepared for that. One thing that is interesting about the blue boomerang is, the blue rupee, is that it can be seen in the dark. So if I hit that, if I accidentally grab the 5 rupee and I turn away, you should be looking to make sure that it's either a key or a 5 rupee. And that might give you a better chance to go back if you have to. If you're like, oh shoot, I didn't get the small key. But that is a good thing to check to make sure that you got the right thing.
Or reset.
Or reset. I'm a big fan of resetting. If you guys did not know about this, but I want to encourage you guys to stick with it as much as you can. So when he goes up, you kind of want to chase after him. So it's kind of up to you. I like to just be a couple pixels up from the wall. I know Corey goes actually like a lot higher. He kind of like fills up this entire hallway and stands in the center. And then if the rat is below him, he'll just slash and then boomerang afterwards. So I think his way is a little bit more safer. And I would say experiment with what you want to do. But I am definitely an aggressive speedrunner. And so I'm going to hope for the best RNG and put myself in the best situation that if this guy is darting right at me, I am ready to slash, boom, and get the heck out of there. So that's definitely a different mentality than other people, but that's what I like to do. If he does the stupid thing, right? He goes all the way into this top corner. There is a way to boomerang like this and get this up left boom, which is technically the most efficient way to get the key. Up to you if you want to bother with this or not, but you're supposed to do an up left and then kind of like walk away, and as you can see, it'll catch even the right corner that way. So you kind of want to stand like right there when you do it. That's technically, so you slash him and then you walk away from where the key is in the top, and then you boomerang like that, and you should catch the small key. And it's just a faster way to get to the door that we obviously need to get to. How do you guys feel about this room?
I hate it.
You hate it? I do too. I'm gonna let you know. I don't know. I think Gab says he gets Saha rupees. I don't know if anyone else does Saha rupees, but this is a good 5 to get if you do tree pulls. Because you kind of need to make your way to 14 if you do Saha rupees, you actually only need like 4 rupees or something like that. So like I said, Gab does Saha. Does anyone else do Saha?
Nope.
No? You do tree pulls?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's a good, honestly, like, yeah, it's frustrating to like lose an extra boomerang, but it isn't terrible to walk out of escape with 5 rupees. Sawyer, remind me, what do? You do Saha rupees?
Tree pull.
You do tree pull also. Okay. So low key, it kind of isn't the worst thing if you guys grab the 5. Okay. I think, what do I have after this? Oh, I want to talk about the last screen. Well, let's just make our way to the end. Do you guys feel good about this long hallway that's coming up? I know there's a lot going on in this screen. You guys know that you kind of just want to walk all the way against this wall, and if you do that, the bats won't bother you because you can just hold up here, because the bats do their curve like we've talked about before, and you can just hold up this whole time.
Yeah, but sometimes you have rats.
Oh yeah, you got plenty of rats that like to get in the way. I would say just boom them as much as you can. If you're concerned that you're not going to boom them, then slash. My advice is just to hold forward. You can be a little bit sneaky sometimes, where if there's a rat, or you feel like there's 2 or 3 rats in your way, you can go up the center and boom well, it would help if I boom the correct bat, but if you're going to say, instead of doing 3 booms against the left wall, you could do 1 boom against the bat, and then save yourself 2 boomerangs. It doesn't happen too often, but see how I can kind of sneak in, because there were 2 rats to the left? That actually was a decent example of that. Something to min-max if you wanted to test it out. But I can completely understand if you want to do something that's like very consistent and be like, all right, I'm just going to go to the left wall. Whatever's there is there, and I'm just going to deal with it. I'm totally okay with that. We're talking about 1/8 of a second when you use a boomerang. So if you throw 3 boomerangs, you maybe lost 1/3 of a second. It's not that bad. So something to practice and warm up. I do want to try to kind of rush a little bit to Eastern, because I feel like there's more important rooms in there than Escape. this rat here, he likes to either walk at you or walk up. He walks up like 75% of the time, but sometimes he walks towards you. A safe thing to do is just to throw the boom at him no matter what when you come out of that. No, that's not right. Alright, let me just make a save state. There used to be a save state for the last 2 rooms. If you kind of throw that boom. So this is a spiral, so you can hold left and then switch to a diagonal to throw this boomerang, and then walk into where the boomerang should be. Yeah, like that. So I kind of just like immediately just throw a boomerang after. So it's like I walk left for 1 frame and then diagonal into a boomerang throw. And that will either catch him if he goes right, or he's going to go up and the boomerang misses, and then you just walk into the gap. And then after you walk through the pots, you try to make your way to the doorway.
I hope none of them stand right in front of the doorway.
Yeah, that's... In general, this is probably a good example where I generally slash rats, because it's usually hard to time a boomerang when they're in front of the doorway. But it's super annoying. But I do want to talk about this last room. So, obvious thing that you guys all know about is the dodge the text box, so go into the corner like this.
Why?
What I want...
You can always get it if you just go up again. Maybe the trigger is just kind of like this.
It's kind of crazy where the trigger is in this room. Because believe it or not, if I walk to the center, the trigger's here too. So it's like a really big box. So yeah, you kind of want to cut this a little bit. So the way I pull this is the main reason I want to talk about this room. When I get to the text box, the second one, I start holding A the entire time until I get to the lever. So I'm going to mash with L and R, and I'm going to hold A. So if you can see in my little controller at the top, I'm holding A right now, and I'm up against the top right. And what I'm going to do is walk to the leftmost pixel of the switch, and then let go of right. Now I automatically just grab it, because I'm holding A, and now I can press down. And you're going to snap to the doorway. So let me just make a better save state. So right about... See, look at that. I actually snapped earlier than I thought I would. Just from holding A and then letting go of right, I snapped to that. And now I press down, and all of a sudden I'm in front of the thing. So it's
That's
actually...
the part I was missing.
Look at that.
You could snap, and I...
Yeah, the trick
letting
is to
go
be
was the
neutral.
part
Yeah,
that's
you
not
have to
good.
neutral.
Yeah.
And you have to be up against the top wall. That's the other thing. But obviously you can see... It's pretty much, I guess, when my shield is just about to cover it. Yep, that's when you kind of snap to it. And once you see a Link grabbing something, you just press down, and then you're through. Yeah, that's a tricky room most people don't talk about, so that's why I wanted to bring it up with you guys. Gab, you're not letting go of right. That's why. You gotta walk up to the left side of it and then let go. Exactly. You can actually do it with the thing out, believe it or not. Yeah, now you got it. It's just letting go of the D-pad, and then you will do it. So that's why I get to the text box, I hold A, and I'm mashing L and R, and I continue holding A until I get to the point where I'm going to let go of the right button. And then I press down and let go of A. Yeah, that's a good room.
I think it was rough.
Alright, anyone got any questions about that one?
That's alright.
Good? Alright, nice. Alright, let's go over some Eastern stuff. Let's go talk about disappearing skeletons and reappearing. Stalfos room. Actually, I wanted to bring this room up, actually, before that. It's a free one that I wanted to talk about. This is a room where I hold down left, and as long as this guy keeps walking, I am never going to get hit by the guy that's on my butt right now. So you can actually just hold down left through this whole room. Now, if you see him stop, you will have to slash. And I'm trying to get him to stop. He's doing that. Also, sometimes that guy gets to the bottom, so I'll actually stop holding diagonal and walk on this tile instead, and then get to the door. See, that time he stopped. So at that time, I'll have to throw out a slash. Ooh, this is disgusting. Wow. I guess you obviously had a slash again there. But a lot of people don't know about that, where if he just keeps walking, you can just keep walking as well. And you can usually sneak by. That time I have to slash. But that entire room, I held down left the entire time. No lefts or downs at all. No orthogonal movement. That's a slash, still holding down left, and then I'm in here. The only time you're actually going to have to cancel is so that you snap into this door. You don't want to drag against this door frame. You'd want to snap down and then left. So, thought I'd bring that one up. Any questions before I move forward? Did you guys try it out yourself, or you want to? Yeah, so BDI, if you reacted to that, you actually didn't have to swing at that one. Yep, there you go. That's what I'm talking about. Nice, BDI. So, yeah, immediately, exactly. Once you see him stop, just slash. You're going to have to slash him to get out of the way.
And do you want to be above the second one if he stops? If the second one starts walking down into you?
If the second one kind of walks into this column, you're correct. I try to walk into the second one instead. In the second lane instead, up here. Because sometimes he'll actually just walk straight to the bottom and start walking right. There's no, like... Yeah, see this? So right there, right? He walked down, so now I'll stay in the second column to walk past him. This time he let me pass. That time I will have to wait. I honestly, waiting is not... Oh, wow, he really just ran at me that time. A slash there is not the worst. Like, if he somehow stops, like, in a place like right here, and he's about to walk down into you, then just slash. It's not a big deal. The main thing I wanted to show you was how to deal with the first skeleton, but yeah, the second skeleton you might have to slash out of the way. He kind of does his own thing. Doesn't have an exact pathing. No, that was a good question.
Cool.
Alright, so the skeleton room. So right in this U here, where I'm standing, is where they spawn. The statue. Right in this U here. This is where they spawn when you walk into the room. So when I walk to about here, they should spawn. And so our goal is to stand like around here. So that way the top one spawns into the door and the bottom one spawns into the pot. And that is what allows us to only spawn two. Oh, I went too low there. My fault. See? That's the trick, is that you're trying to get the two to spawn in the door or in the pot so they don't appear. So you grab this, you throw that, and then you get... Oh, I went too far to the right. See, I messed it up. Because this is a different one than I do. Huh. Am I going too low? I must be going too low. Interesting. Yeah, because what I do right now is I actually grab it from that side. So I hit the left side of this U, like right around here. But I figured I'd at least show you both of them, if I can do it. Yeah, I keep spawning that bottom one. Embarrassing. Huh. Maybe I need to be more left. Yeah, that's my problem. So you kind of want to be almost like lined up with the pot when you come down. That's my problem. I was too far to the right. So experiment with what will work for you the most. I like to do the one where I actually spawn here and then I throw it back. It just feels a little bit more cleaner and I'm closer to the left pot. I throw that diagonal like this. And you can get a little bit fancier where you kind of like pump up to this pot. So after I throw the pot to the right, it really doesn't matter where I stand. So I'm just trying to like make my way to the pot like this. And you can throw a few pumps to grab this pot. This is a very good room to practice to just make sure that you have clean movement. And then obviously, after you throw the pot, You should be holding right or upright to get to the door. There's no reason for your movement to continue like down here at all. It should just be throw the pot and then make your way up through the door. I didn't even realize that door was a cell. So, any questions about this? Does anyone feel better with the right side of the U versus the left side?
I always do the right side.
You do the right side. I think that like
Yeah.
the
I don't even
right
know what
side.
I do. I just do the strat I learned.
I just do this, and then this, and then this. Oops. When you want to show it, it doesn't work.
I know. When everyone's looking, right? I think that most strats show you the right one and don't show you the left one. So that's why I wanted to try to give you both choices. If, of course, I can do the right one. I haven't done the right one, so so that's 645 for me. Let's see what the left one is for me. 640. Talking about 5 frames. But I mean, I easily could have, messed up movement or something. So, well, it doesn't help when you go down too soon. Nah, it's too far to the right. So, I messed it up. I still messed it up. Unfortunate.
$658.
658? Nice. That's a 635. That was actually pretty clean. I mean, you can obviously... I might be having like better pop grabs or something. And then how to snap into the door is better. Yeah, it looks like 635, 636 are my best. Anyone else have any questions or comments about this room?
No, it's fine.
Okay, cool. What was the other room I suggested we talk about? Okay, the D-boost, yes. I think most of you are good with the big key.
Mm-hmm.
What I do in this room is I hold down left this entire time up against this wall here until I get to the Popo, and then I try to D-boost off of him to do it. It just feels a little bit cleaner to just get into the spot that I want to damage boost off of it. So I figured I'd at least mention that to you, to be getting it like that. But do whatever you feel comfortable with. If you don't like to do the Popo, the anti-fairy strat is obviously fine. You're just gonna lose an extra half a heart when you do that, and then it looks like about a half a second. Which isn't terrible, but it's definitely safer. Oh, maybe it's even less than that. It looked like it was actually 20 frames. Does everyone use the Popo, or do some people use the anti-fairy?
I use the Popo, and sometimes I use the anti-fairy when I mess up the Popo.
When you mess up the Popo?
Yeah, it's the same. If I hit the Popo too early,
Yeah.
I use the anti-fairy twice.
Okay, that's fair. And obviously you have hearts if you need to in those pots. Yeah, I know that people can get really sweaty about like trying to get like the perfect anti-fairy to push them upwards. Obviously that was not good because the Popo did not push me to the left. But you see how I kind of walk into the Popo on the left side here, and that kind of, yeah, that's actually low. I wanted him to send me higher, but I'm trying to. I wouldn't worry too much about it as long as you're getting it like most of the time. You're okay. If you feel like you're dropping below like 80 or 90%, maybe practice the room a few times is all I can say. You don't want to be losing too many runs because of this.
Yeah.
But it sounds like you guys have a good grasp on it. I think the next one I want to talk about was the Igor after the bow. Pick up. Yes. I think it's Gift with Greenies, which is the weirdest name ever, but that's what it is. Something to kind of think about for the entire time that we do this program. When you want to menu, you should be choosing when you should be switching from boomerang to bow, and using it to your effectiveness for a pixel perfect movement. So you can choose to do it in this room, where if you want to line up where you're going to shoot the bow, then pause, switch the bow, and then aim will be easier for you to do some pixel perfect movement. Similar to how when you do the hammer jump, right? You switch to bomb when you do the first pixel lineup, you throw the 1 or 2 bombs, and then when you line up the second time, you try to use the mirror. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. You should be thinking about when you want to menu every single time that is going to be the best effective for you. And this is a good example of a place that can work for you. I personally menu in a different place. I'm a little sweaty, and I actually menu at the very bottom here. So I try to get myself a stair leg cancel, because there's a little bit of a cancel here. So I actually do it right here, and then this drag, it saves me like 3 frames. Because I don't feel that I save too much time from the Igor, so I use it there. But I wanted to show you guys that this is a very good place to use the menu that most people do. So what they do is they walk up here, they switch the menu, and then they shoot the arrow. So that way you can get right into this spot here. And you can get a little height on this Igor when you do it. And then obviously when you pick up the key, you want to pick it up with like the back of your foot. You want to be as high and top left and close to the door as possible before you do it. So I just wanted to bring that up. Oops, see, I went too high there. That's something you can experiment with, trying to maximize, you know, some pixel perfect movement. So is that something you guys have done already? Have you been trying to menu there? When do you guys usually menu to bow?
I usually menu just before the door.
Just at the door.
Yeah. Sometimes inside if I forget about it.
Okay. I would recommend trying to find a good place you want to menu to bow if you want to do something tricky like line up with the Igor, or if you want to try a stair leg cancel, or you want to switch to bow when you have to walk around that skeleton. Like right when you have to go around the big key, that skeleton on the left sometimes it gets in the way. Menuing to bow there might help you actually give you more time to decide how you want to deal with the skeleton. That's the third place I know I see people menu. But any distance between when you pick up the bow from the big chest to obviously when you have to fire that Igor, find a good place that you want to menu to bow that you're going to be able to do a room consistently. And I know a lot of people, even high-level people, switch to bow right next to that Igor because they're trying to really maximize the highest point that they can shoot the arrow to the left, as well as trying to maximize when they pick up the key. So it's frames here and there, but you might as well try to find a good place to menu. So that's kind of why I wanted to bring that one up. We could just finish off Eastern. There's only like 4 or 5 more rooms. This is a good room to practice. This is part of the extra credit, this one with all the pots. Oh, see, I was too fast and actually the anti-fairy got me. You can be too fast at picking up the 3rd pot. Let's see, an 809. But this has like a lot of things going on. This has the lag from the door. This has some pot slide. Are you guys familiar with pot slide?
Nope.
Okay. If you hold a diagonal into a pot, you'll move like a pixel over as you're picking up the pot. You'll like see like Link like stutter more in the direction you're going. He doesn't walk into where the pot is being picked up, but he'll kind of move to the left a little bit. See how I kind of moved like 1 pixel over? Yeah, that time I didn't do it. That time I did. I took like 1 little step on the pickup animation. That time I didn't do it. That time I did it. So
it's like when you do it with chess. You can do the same thing with chess.
Yes, you can do it with chess as well. Yeah. And your goal should be to try for the anti-fairies in the top corner to not be touching each other. Kinda, well, they did touch each other there. So that's just it. If you like are really fast in this room, you can pick up this pot before the anti-fairy bounces off the bottom left pot, and I gotta slow down a little bit. Okay, I think that's gonna be good. 8-11 I got that time. I feel like this is a very good room to practice to feeling comfortable with the stair leg, as well as trying to pick up these pots efficiently. So, thought I'd bring that up to you. Yeah, it seems like 8-12 seems to be my best if I don't. I can't believe how many times I'm getting hit by this anti-fairy. It's really fun.
14.
8-11. You got an 8-14? 8-13 is very good.
8-28.
8-28? Alright. Getting there. 8-10. Okay. That's probably very close to when the anti-fairy was supposed to smack me in the face and say, stop going so fast.
Just damn you and your 8-10.
8-19.
Got an 8-11.
You got an 8-11? Oh, nice. There's no
8-19.
way I get an 8-10 when I do a run. There's no way. I'm probably like... That's what you'll learn when you do these room grinds is when you do something, you know, really
809.
sick, you never do that in
Nice.
a run. So take your 809. You said you got an 809? Nice. Nice. There's not too much going on in this room. We technically can get a couple of air pumps, but I would not bother with that. You kind of want to hit this button on the left side of it, and then hold upright. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I wouldn't worry too much about it. As long as you're pressing the button and getting into that door cleanly, I think you're okay.
809 as well.
Nice. Cannonballs. I don't think there's much to talk about here. You definitely don't want to drag against this door here. So I usually cancel my down left from here to about here, and I kind of like orthogonal into the doorway. That's the one thing I know is that drag can be very costly, especially when there's a bunch of cannonballs on the screen. So I kind of cancel around here, and then I press left into it. So, yeah, let's talk about ZGR. There's a lot going on in this room. My recommendation is to try to shoot down at the bottom one and throw a pot at the top one. Then you'll be able to pick up the arrows that are under the right pot, and then you kill the Igor. That's, of course, if the room is nice to you. Sometimes this guy likes to keep going. Oh, and I missed, unfortunately. But that should be like the go-to.
Does it matter which direction you throw? Like, if the second skeleton is up top, does it matter if you're coming from the bottom or the right side to shoot the red Igor?
Yes. I would recommend taking the time to go underneath him because he may drop arrows, and if he drops arrows and you miss him, you're going to have a very bad time later on. So I recommend taking the extra couple of seconds to going underneath the red Igor to make sure that if he drops arrows, you don't miss out on them.
Like, it's okay.
Yeah. No, that's a good question. Sometimes the skeleton goes into the top right corner, which is really annoying. And so if he goes into this top right corner, I will throw a pot up here, and then I will come over here to wake him up. So I will take the extra distance to make sure I get underneath him.
For resources? Okay.
Yes, for resources, exactly. And then, honestly, when it comes to this room, you're just trying to be as maximum with your distance of throwing the pot as quickly as possible. And you'd be surprised how much reach you can get. Like, I can hit him if he's on the top wall at the very bottom. So it really just comes down to facing that direction and chucking the pot. So you can definitely work on, see, like right here, like if I didn't miss the bottom right guy, all I did was pick up the pot and throw immediately upwards. And then I would have diagonaled up into this. Oh, the other thing that I remember being taught when I did this, don't slash down here and walk up here. Go all the way to the top of the room. Oh, shoot. Can't believe that happened. Go up to the top of the room here. And then slash up, because this walking distance is really slow. So go to the top and then slash right when you go into the next room. Are there any scenarios of ZGR you want to talk about? Because this is a very complicated room. Is there anything I can help you guys with? Like, I could do it a couple times for you. Oh my god, I have a bad save state. Hold on. I think this is a very difficult room that is worth talking about. Sometimes this guy does that. He'll go right into your way, and I generally grab the pot from the bottom and then chuck it at him. If this top guy like walks straight down, that can be a really annoying RNG.
I was just about to ask that if the top person walks down, that's the RNG that I'm least comfortable with.
Yeah, so sometimes you either can catch underneath him. Sometimes if you feel comfortable with, you can try to just shoot an arrow if he just like stands right in your way. Arrows are very costly as a resource, but I will tell you that you should always pick up this pot. And picking up the pot and throwing it at the skeleton is faster than shooting an arrow if you have the choice. So that's definitely something I want to point out as well. But you see how like quickly I threw that pot up? Like I grabbed the pot, I saw him walk up, and all I did was move back to the right tile and I went up throw. And now all I'm going to do is diagonal through the arrows to aggro this red guy. That is where you're going to be saving your time in Easter, is if you're able to efficiently throw this pot as quickly as you can at the second one. Now, if they do all the most annoying things ever, this right guy just goes into this bottom right corner and you miss the arrow, then yeah, you're going to lose some time. But this is where I generally am saving my time in Easter, is this room and the next room. Any other RNGs I can go over? I think everyone's good. It's definitely a good room to keep, just to, you know, do a couple times before going. All right, so the next room, you want to be at the top of this room, slashing your sword. You can be surprised how low you can be. You don't have to stand all the way in the center when you kill these guys. See how low I am? I started about there. That's actually too high. That's going to work, but I can go lower than that. So another thing you can kind of work on min-maxing. Look at that. I'm almost on the second tile. And I'm getting them. So that's what I look for when I do these practices. I'm trying to figure out what the lowest I can do. Okay, so that's too low. So you want to be... I guess your head wants to be like higher than that triangle a little bit, or wherever that diamond is. Nope, it has to be beyond that diamond. Okay, so just a little bit beyond that diamond. I think this is the lowest pixel to do that spin attack. Now, don't go for this in a run. You don't have to be pixel perfect, but try to be within that range of a pixel or two, and you'll have a better chance of getting that spin attack as low as possible. Okay, double Igors. What do you guys like to do for this? Do you like to do 1, 2, and 1, or are you guys 1, 1 back and forth?
1, 2, 1.
1, 2, and 1.
All right. I've seen a lot of people experiment with doing 1, 1, and I don't like it. This is one of those screens where you can start to get sweatier and sweatier of going fast and like trying to just hold upright into the whole thing until you get hit, and then you're like, okay, I'll go back. The easiest thing I can tell you is that if this room starts to give you trouble, backing up further is not the worst. So as long as you go back up to here, you should be fine. And you can actually hold up left to kill the last one, and then make your way to the top. You see how far back I stand when I shoot the arrows? Don't be afraid to do that. There's no reason to be sweating that. But I try to hold up left to shoot the 4th arrow. No, it doesn't help when you face that left. One thing to point out. You just have to move 1 pixel to the left to shoot the Igor on the left. So that's another thing to min-max, is you don't actually have to hit them in the eye. As long as you are 1 pixel of a walk to the left, you will shoot the left Igor. I probably actually stepped too far to the right there. So that's another thing you can kind of try to min-max when it comes to that. So I would go a little bit lower BDI when you have to shoot the red eye first. Yeah. Yeah, same for you, Sawyer. I would go a little bit lower when I wake them up.
Easy.
It just feels better to like where the room like it opens up. To just go down all the way down here. It's easier also to hold up left for the 4th arrow as well to line yourself up with the door. That looked really good, BDI. I like that one a lot. I do want to warn you, Sawyer. You don't want to be slashing up when you do the spin attack into that room. There's a chance that you may catch the door as it opens and clink off of it, and it delays the spin attack. So you want to slash right or left when you exit the ZGR room into the double readies. That looked really good, BDI. Unfortunately, I already come out.
No drop.
That sucks.
No drop.
I like that a lot, Sawyer. That looked really good. Same for you, BDI. That one also looked very clean. I will tell you, Gab, that you don't have to move as far left to shoot the left eye core. You can be a little bit tighter on your movement. Yeah, that was actually a lot better. I like that a lot. You just have to move like 1 pixel to the left to shoot the left eye core. Yeah, he doesn't need a shot actually in the eye.
No, I never thought about that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you guys are doing really good. Do you guys want to talk about Armos? I know we're going a little bit over the hour that I had suggested, but I have no problem sticking with you guys for another room.
I'm getting a little tired.
Yeah, it is a lot. It's a lot, and that's the most important thing I want to try to do as a mentor is I'm not overdoing it. I don't want to give you so much information that you're just like, oh, what did Coin say about this room? And I don't want to go through 100 rooms. I want to try to make it as concise and bite-sized as I can. And I know we did a lot today, but like I said, I'm recording it. I'll post it on YouTube, and I'll put it in our group. And so whether you go tomorrow or Tuesday, pick 2 or 3 rooms and practice them. And my advice is to pick the rooms that you cringe the most is the best word, or you're like, I hate those rooms. Make those your best rooms. That's the best way I have done when I've speed ran, is that there is a split where I'm like, I really don't like this split. I'm going to make it my best split, and that's what I focus on. And then I speed run again. And whether I find more consistency, maybe I can squeeze a PB, but that's what I keep doing. I'm picking what's the worst thing that I think is in my run that I feel uncomfortable with, and I want to make that consistency high. So if there's any of the rooms that we discussed today that you're like, I really do feel uncomfortable with, focus on those. That's my advice. Any other questions? Any rooms I didn't go over that you wanted me to, or maybe go back to? I'm more than happy to do that as well. But I think this is a good place to stop for today.
Yeah, I agree.
Before you do end the recording on your side, can you show me the sweaty strat for Armos Knights?
Absolutely. All right, so The strat that I do is technically not the sweatiest. There's actually an even sweatier strat than what I do, and I don't know how to do it. But I will show you the...
We're not talking Aerie strat.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There is an Aerie strat that's absolutely disgusting, and I'll probably clip it for you guys and put it in the text chat. It's ridiculous, and I've never even considered trying it. But what Sawyer's referring to is that after I shoot the 5 arrows to the right, I shoot an arrow downward, and it gives me more time to move to the left, and then when I eventually kill all the enemies in the bottom left corner, one of the armless statues obviously only needs 2 arrows instead of 3, and it makes it a little bit more efficient. So, what I do is I go up here, and it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down, 1, 2, 3, and then you have to turn. And obviously I can't do it the first time, but that turn is the hardest part.
Okay, so I keep missing that turn, so that's actually normal. Is it because we're too high or too low?
It's because I'm being inefficient at the moment.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. It definitely has to do with feeling comfortable of when the last arrow is fired, that you have to press down and then arrow. That's the best way I can explain it. Is that you just have to make sure that you are pressing down as efficiently as possible after and then once you're facing down, you can then fire an arrow downward.
Do you know about how much time that actually saves?
I think it saves about 20 frames. I can tell you that when I was having trouble with this strat of doing the 5 rights and coming up here, and I was not getting the timing. So it saved me more time when I did it. So that's a 1357. I think I usually get into the 1320s and 30s with this other strat. So it was saving me 30 frames when it should really be only saving 15 frames. You can tighten this up to a mid 13 if you are good at these arrow shots. Yeah, I was trying to be too sweaty about it. But the short answer is that it should be about 15 or 20 or so on the other strat.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So that was 1347. Yeah, I want to say that I was mostly getting 40s with the other strat, and then 20s to 30s with the arrow down. Now I gotta actually do this correctly. 1341. See, I didn't even save that much time. Another part is you want to be as close as you can to this when you're shooting the 3 arrows to the left. That was something I had to catch myself doing also with this strat. I don't think I timed that right. Shoot. Well, clearly I haven't practiced Armless enough. See how close I am to there, and then I needed to face down there, but yeah. Sorry, I'm not doing it correctly today, but that's at least the idea. Cool. All right, no, good job,
this
guys.
fight is really different to the rando fast ROM. I feel like
yes,
it's just weird.
It is. Unfortunately, switching between rando and NMG is a little difficult with fast ROM. You're not wrong.